bölümün başlığı tedarik zinciri dönüşümünü ve geçişini destekleyen inovasyon ve teknoloji. Moderatörümüz sevgili Ayşegül Kaya olacak. Genç TGS'de üyesi kendisi ve TYH Tekstil Sürdürülebilirlik Yöneticisi. Diğer konuğumuz Spinnova Kurumsal Sürdürülebilirlik Yöneticisi Şahriyare Mahmut ve son olarak Bestseller Materials Direktörü Pernil Lebrouk'un bu bölümün konukları. Ben alkışlarınızla değerli konuklarımı sahneye davet etmek istiyorum. Buyurun.
Hello, everybody. As our announcer already mentioned, my name is Ayşegül from TYH Textile. I am Innovation and Sustainability Manager of the company, and also I am a member of Youth Platform of the TGST. Today we are, thank you, there is applause there. Today we are having two important guests from Spinnova and Bestseller. Welcome here. I am well aware of that. We are having after lunch sessions, so I hope all of you are not really sleepy because we are going to hear really good innovation and technology aspect of transformative journey. From innovation side, we will be hearing Mr. Shahriyar, and from transition side of the supply chain, we will be hearing from Mr. Pernil. So let's start with you, Mr. Shahriyar. I am well aware of that transformation is only possible with innovation. You have some good news from your company. Could you give us your presentation about Spinnova? What are the things that you are doing now? What kind of innovation you are having? Could you mention about Spinnova technology to us?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think, as you rightly mentioned, this is the way to transform the industry.
Yes.
I mean, through the innovation. So I maybe need to take the stage to somehow to present Spinnova. I think that will be already self-explanatory how innovation can transform the industry. I think I would connect today morning. I heard from David that how he has been presenting the planetary boundaries. We are very much focused on the carbon nowadays in different level, in the supply chain, in the manufacturing, in the retail level. Which level we are going, we are too much focused on carbon, which is good. We need to take into consideration. But I think planetary boundary shows us that there is something else to take care of. And when we think about innovation, there are a lot of innovation happened, even in the textile industry. If we talk about, there are a lot of innovation happened, great innovation happened, but the consequences were not very clear. For example, the synthetic fibers that came few decades back, that were actually very, very nice innovations, but we are having the problems nowadays with those. Only now we started to explore there are a lot of problems with those. So I try to use innovation that could connect to some extent to the planetary boundaries, not only from the carbon point of view. How I wanted to start that, I know some of the challenges you already are very much aware of. I would like to relate that with the sustainability aspects of Spinnova, sustainability aspect of our innovation. First of all, we talk a lot in the textile industry about the waste generation. We produce a lot of waste, or the material that we use basically is not very much let's say, designed for recyclability or these are not giving us at the end of the life cycle proper justification for use it in the next phase. Then we are talking about, of course, CO2 emission, global air warming. This is nothing new. But there we have a strong connection that Spinnova fiber in the manufacturing, what we are saving is significant. If we compare with the conventional cotton, we are already 74% less in this stage. We are still a bit early stage, but I would say that already in this stage, it's 74% less. I believe we still have time to do some optimization. Then we are talking about water. A lot of water we use in the textile industry. We heard in some of the speeches today morning. And we need to take care of that. I think when we will be get habituated with the carbon, after some time we will start to talk a lot about water. And I think we need to start preparing that now. And Spinnova technology is actually giving a best possibility to have almost waterless production. So we have done some LCA external, of course, and that shows that 99.5% of less water we are using until our fiber level. And then we know the challenges with the synthetic fibers, the microplastic pollutions, and so on. And that's of course, it's very naturally, it's a biodegradable cellulosic fiber, Spinnova fiber. I will show you the technology. And that's, as it is cellulosic, very naturally, it's of course not containing any microplastic. But of course, I wanted to highlight this as an advantage. And then this fiber, such a beautiful innovation that it basically uses no toxic chemistry, no harmful chemistry. In fact, it is not produced in a chemical way. It produced completely mechanical way. And that's, I think, the most interesting part of this technology. And then, of course, we are using wood, cellulose as our principal raw material, where we have actually done all these researches. And we know there are questions with the wood, with the use of wood. But in our case, we use such form of wood that basically you are using for preparing something else like cardboard paper or, let's say, tissue paper that we are using in our daily life. So that means that it's quite a raw form of cellulose, quite a raw form of pulp. And from that point of view, if you compare it with the other cellulosic fiber like viscose, lyocell, so the yield is much more higher in our process because we are not dissolving it further chemically. So these are some of the things I wanted to highlight before I start the presenting what Spinnova is. There are a lot of good things with this technology, but I believe that it will be very difficult to remember. So what I try to do that I wanted to highlight 5 different points from the beginning up to the end. First of all, we use sustainable raw material. I mentioned to you, of course, we use certified raw material, etc. But we do have different kinds of raw material use possibility. I will show you soon. And then the whole fiber process is a mechanical process. We don't use any dissolving chemistry, unlike viscose or lyocell process or the other chemically produced fiber. So that gives us an advantage of not using, or we don't need to use in the process any chemistry, in the process no water. And that's the advantage of the mechanical process. And then whole production, it's a zero waste production, meaning that we don't produce any wastewater, we don't produce any air emission, and of course not solid waste. In our process, whatever we are putting in, we are getting out as fiber. Everything gets out as fiber. The solid content is converted to fiber. Then, true natural alternative. We had many different kind of innovations around, great innovations around, which are coming and which is very good. Also, we need to think about the product point of view. When you get, the process is very sustainable, but when we get the product, it's not another product. So in this case, Spinnova is providing a real noble fiber, how it is. This is not comparable to, let's say, viscose. This is not comparable to lyocell. This is not comparable to even 100% cotton. This is something nearer, closer to cotton or two, let's say hemp, natural cellulosic fibers. So that's give us a possibility of to be a true natural fiber alternative. And then, of course, it's biodegradable. This is cellulosic fiber, so biodegradable. We tested. So that's proved already that it's biodegradable and recyclable. So it can go to any recycling process like other cotton recycling processes very easily. Even Spinnova can be actually recycled through Spinnova process. We are waiting. I hope that when a lot of Spinnova will be in the market, people will use it as long as possible. When it will come back to us, we can recycle that with Spinnova process. These are 5 different things from the beginning up to the end with the Spinnova. And I would like to proudly share you this picture. So we are not in the pilot scale. We are not in the lab scale. We have done already something very much tangible. This is the outside picture of our building in central Finland, of our production unit. This is called Woodspin, a joint venture between Spinnova and Suzano, the largest pulp producer of the globe. And it's inaugurated already this year in the May 2023. And a picture from here, from the inside, how it looks like. So it's an industry. But the question is that, can you imagine really a factory, such scale factory, without any environmental permit? Hard to believe, but this is a fact that this specific factory, we didn't need, and this is in central Finland, we didn't need an environmental permit. Because we don't produce any wastewater, we don't produce any air emission, we don't produce any solid waste as such. So that's why we didn't need an environmental permit. Now maybe it's time to show you that how this technology works. So we take, let's consider the wood pulp as a primary raw material. We take the wood pulp, we refine it, we grind it, let's say, refine it mechanically, and we produce called microfibrillated cellulose. It's a paste. And that paste, basically, we are putting into the spinning nozzles. And when it's coming out, it's basically ready fiber. Just trying to mimic how spider is producing their fiber, how they're producing web. That's actually thought behind the Spinnova innovation. There is a dope, and when it is out there, it's a fiber. It's as simple as that. Of course, we are doing a little bit drying after the nozzle, when the fiber came out, because it still contains some moisture, and that needs to be dried up. And then it's ready for, of course, then we are blending it with cotton or any other fiber, viscose, any other fiber, and convert it to yarn, fabrics, etc. Very simple technology, and this is maybe good to mention that it's closed loop, so nothing coming out from it. And through the drying, actually, we are getting some evaporated water, because there was moisture in the fiber, in the dope, and that we take back as a condensate. These are the sustainability advantage from the very sustainability perspective in input and output. So what we do is a waterless production, I mentioned, harmful, chemical-free, and wood that we are using is actually traceable, FSC certified. We exactly know from where the woods are coming. And when it is out there, it's a product which has very low footprint from all the footprint point of view, carbon, water, whatever, and many other LCA indicators looks extremely good. So in the future, we can share more publicly. And the fiber is recyclable, of course, and very important thing is that in the recycling, it doesn't lose its quality. Typically, when you think it's a mechanical process, it can lose the quality, but no, we have trialed it small scale, but we have seen that the fiber is not losing the quality, and of course it's biodegradable. When we are talking about the low footprint, this is, I think, one of the picture I would like to show you, that Spinnova produces 1.2 units of CO2 emission from the forest up to Spinnova fiber. And from that 1.2 unit, basically, we collect the heat, extra heat. That heat collected and given to the district heating network. By giving it to district heating network system, we actually save 2.4 units of CO2 emission. So every kilo of spin-nova fiber we produce, we basically save more CO2 emission than we produce. And that's why we are saying it's low carbon. I'm not going to those kind of terms, a bit dangerous to use. And if we compare it to the conventional cotton, which is 4.7, through the EcoInvent database, you can compare yourself that how much savings it is. I would like to highlight that what are the advantages basically compared to other cellulosic fiber like viscose, lyocell, and any other. It's a completely mechanical process. On the left-hand side, you can see spin-nova, and the right-hand side, it's a chemical dissolving process for the other man-made cellulosic fiber. We use pulp, kraft pulp, which is a very raw form of pulp. Of course, we can use dissolving pulp also, but typically in the chemical dissolving or other man-made cellulose, they use the dissolving pulp. We do the preparation mechanically refining, and they do the preparation chemically dissolving. We do the spinning, dry spinning and drying, and they do it in dissolving to wet spinning. We do not need any cleaning. It's a very clean fiber. It's pure form of cellulose. It's cellulose 1, which is in the lyocell or viscose, you get it as cellulose 2. That's why it's comparable with the natural fiber. So, and of course, I mentioned no side or waste stream. What I wanted to show that, of course, wood is our main raw material. You see in the picture, that's the principal raw material what we are using at our first commercial plant. But we can utilize also agri-waste. We have done some proof of concept, and that works. Then, very interestingly, we have been able to utilize the tannery waste. So if you take the wet blue, which is one of the form of waste from the tanneries, that basically can be converted to the protein fiber. That's completely different form of fiber. We are doing a project with ECCO where we have already able to do that, and we set it up a pilot line for that. But we have been recently also utilized the Renewcell's cellulose pulp and produce spin-nova fiber using the same technology, everything same. Meaning that we can utilize basically any form of pulp. You provide us pulp, we will provide the fiber. As simple as that. And then, I'm trying to be quicker. What in the product? We can apply it in various forms, of course, textiles, non-ovens, composites, we are still learning where we can put it. Then it's more than a textile fiber, meaning that, of course, it has the natural aesthetics, but there are some other performances. And we are producing it in the filament form, so we are expecting in the future, we will be using in the yarn also in the filament form. And it's recyclable. I am not taking too much time on that. Here are some of the products example that we have been already producing. You can see that even skis are able, we can produce out of spin-nova fiber, and there are different kind of product categories where we can apply. Some of the partners with whom we are publicly working, we are a publicly listed company, so can't disclose everything, but these are some of the brands with whom we are working. But we have an excellent team of and spin-nova brand that actually very much amalgamated with the other brands and presented in different kind of product. But what I want to highlight is our collaboration with Bestseller, which is one of the best in terms of, we have already launched some product in the market, and we are working further together, what Penil also will be highlighting. But too hard to believe, but if you take away something, just remember this is the cleanest possible textile fiber. This is the producing in a very smallest possible footprint, and this is made to circulate. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, even though we had a technical problem before, thank you for your explanation about EU legislation. Today in this panel, we had the opportunity of having information from the innovation part and technology part, as well as the transformation and transaction of the supply chain. Thank you for your presentation today. So we are done here. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Welcome.